give us? Does everybody understand? They're up there, baby, on that second thing. I'm sorry. Actually, you can use this one from my other class. So you can just follow along with part of it because some of it's already highlighted. All right. Here we go. On A. Now, I know you can't really see this bright orange very well. But on A, they tell us that LM is 30. What segment is congruent to LM? So on your white piece of paper that you have, what should you have written by JK? 30. Did everybody do that? Okay. Now, what else do they give us? What other information do they give us? Okay. Take your other color. Hey, can we stop talking while I'm trying to do this? Thank you so very much. What segment is congruent to KL? And what should we write beside JM? Okay, hopefully you did that. I really need y'all to stop talking. Okay? Everyone that's talking, I need you to stop talking. Thank you so much. Do you need to leave? Okay. Brian, stop talking. I don't care if he's asking you for Jesus. Stop talking. Mazzaro, find your own stuff or get a marker. No?
I got it.
All right, for B, what do they give us? They give us AC. And what do we know is congruent? Now, you should all be highlighting in a marker, not a pencil right now, because we can't see pencil on this paper. That's why we're using colors. Now, what is congruent to AC? So if AC is 14, what's BD?
14.
So what should we write beside BD?
14.
Now it also asks us for EC. How would we find that?
Divide by 2.
Divide it by 2, because diagonals bisect each other. They cut each other in half. So if this whole thing is 14, what's down here?
7.
So what should we write right here?
7.
Fantastic. How many of us have those two right so far? If 3 people at your table have it right, take a point.
$587.
1 point. 1 point. Now, on this one, this is just like what we just did on here, correct? This is just like what we just did. So Taylor is going to tell me what other angle is equal to 23. No, the measure of Z is 90. So you have to use 3 letters to name an angle. So if I needed to name another angle, it would be WZX. Does everybody understand? You start from the outside, you go to the vertex, you go back out. So that's this angle right here. Now, is there another one that is also 23?
Yes.
Which one? WYZ? WYX? Yep, that one is. Is there another one? There should be one more.
ZWY.
Yes, good. ZWY. Take a point. Now, it asks us for XZY, which is this angle right here. How would we find that? Not you. Not this table. Not Grace. You wouldn't add it. Subtract from what? From 90, because what is this whole angle? Okay. So what? Yes, it's the right angle. So what would XZY be? 67. Yep. So what would you write right here? Okay. If you know that this is 67 and we need WVZ, how would we find WVZ? Does 67 help us, or should we use our 223s? The 223s. And what would you do with those two? And set it equal to 180. Good. Take a point. All right, look at D. It gives us this 72. What else do we know is 72? What other angle? If KNL is 72, name that other angle. JNM. Good. All of you take a point that said that. Now it asks us for JKM. Can we use the information that we have to find that angle up there? Okay. You would just, you could do it several ways, right? You also need to find MJL. So you would subtract this angle, 72 from 180, and divide by 2. Because this is X and this is X. So X plus 72 equals 180.
You said 72 for 180 and divide by 6. 2? Alright, I'm trying to read.
Just let it go. Then once you get X, you should be able to get Y. And what else could we call Y? Could it be JKM? And how would we get Y once we find X? What would we subtract it from right here? 90, because what are all of the angles of a rectangle? 90. Now, moving on to E. Tell me something. Do they give you side lengths or do they give you angles? Would we ever set a side length equal to 90?
No.
Would we set it equal to 180?
No.
Then stop adding them together and setting it equal to 90. What do we set equal to 90?
Angles.
Angles. What do we set equal to 180?
Consecutive seconds.
Angles, right? But here they give us what? And what do we know about FC and ED? So what would you do with those two? Fantastic. Moving on. F. They give you RT and they give you US. What do you know about RT and US? So what should you do with those two things? Moving on. This time, they give you SW, and they give you WT. What do we know, based on this picture, about the half diagonals of a rectangle?
They are congruent.
Besides y'all's table. Y'all can't answer anymore. Grace can't answer anymore. Brindley can't answer anymore. Haley can't answer anymore. Star can't answer anymore. What do we know about these two parts? And you cannot whisper the answer to your team. What, Ms. Arrow? They are congruent. And what would you do with those two things? Didn't we just have that conversation? We just had that conversation. Did they give us side lengths or did they give us an angle? They gave us lengths of a diagonal or a side. You cannot set that equal to 180 or 90 because it's not an angle. So what would you do with these two things? Set them equal to each other because they're congruent. Take a point, move on to H. Not you. You didn't say anything. You don't get a point unless you say something.
I said in my mind.
That's not how it works.
She didn't erase it because I did the mark.
She did. Alright, this gives you HF, and it also gives you DF, correct? What do you know about HF and HD? They equal the same thing? So should we also highlight that with yellow? Okay. So if HF is 2x minus 1. What does that mean that DH is? 2x minus 1. And what does it say that DF is? 7x minus 35. Lupita, you can't answer anymore. So what would we do with these two parts?
Well, we got
We wouldn't take 2x minus 1 and set it equal to 2x minus 1. What would we have to do?
add to 9.
Are we setting it equal to 90?
No.
No, because it's a side length, not an angle. If you guys say 90 one more time. What would we add these up and set it equal to? What y'all saying 90 and 184? What y'all saying 90 and 1? Thank you, Sebastian. Take a point. Now, what do you know about this angle, angle ABD and angle BDC? ABD and BDC. We just did that earlier. They are congruent. Take a point, Nakia. And if they're congruent, what would we do with them? Set them equal. Finish the rest of it without me. Go. You've got 7 minutes left in class.